So a job I've been working on this weekend in my spare time is changing out these original brake lines. You can see you would say where your copper ends here meets this is your OEM brake lines, which comes down to your caliper. These are original. I imagine they're original. They look pretty bad, but I'm changing them out for these Proline. They're braided steel from an English company called Proline. So the vehicle, as I said, is 24 years old. So these will easily get another 24 years out of it. So I've the driver's side done. Did that yesterday. You have to remove the inner liner to get in at this. On the front, at least, I haven't went to the back section yet. I'm hoping the back is a little bit more straightforward. Basically, I'm changing the connection here, so this will screw out of this, screw into that, and you just bring it down along, carry it into your caliper down here. So I'll be taking these are kind of, I guess, an extra little bit of armor that came on them. All they are is coiled plastic basically, but I'll be taking these off and I'll be putting them onto the new ones and bleed the brakes then. I did the driver's side one yesterday and I'm doing the passenger side one today, and I'll have a look at the two rear ones. I bought cables, upgraded cables for the full vehicle, so I'll be doing them all over the next week or so. So if you look at the caliper here, if you look at where that original brake cable enters the caliper here, this is your nut or your bolt, we'll say, that drives into it. You have a copper washer at the top. I don't know if you can see it on this, but you have a secondary copper washer on the base there. So if I was to lift that up, if I can do it with one hand, so there's another compression copper washer on the base. And they come in the kit. Any kit that you buy that will have braided steel upgraded brake cables will have them. So it'll come with a new bolt, it'll come with two new copper washers, and I have this backwards, but you get the gist of it. It's obviously going to sit in the opposite side. Not so easy to do with one hand and hold the camera at the same time, but you get the idea anyway. So this is your front twin pot brake caliper off the front passenger side. You can see it's still full of fluid. I'm not going to spill that out because I'm going to need to bleed all of this line. Obviously there's air in this new braided steel line, so I'm going to need to bleed all this once it's installed. But your kit will come with 4 of these, we'll say, replacement bolts. They're bolts basically, but obviously they have the ability for the fluid to pass through them. I don't know what the technical term for them is, but you'll notice that one is coarse. If I can zoom in on that. One is coarse, and for the front calipers, it's actually a fine thread. If I can zoom in on that. And your replacement washers are with it. So that's the new braided steel cable installed on the caliper side. These calipers I rebuilt about a year ago with new seals, new pots in most of them. They're a little bit dirty and a little bit dusty. I'll clean them up before I put them back on, but they're pretty much brand new, so they should be good for a few more years. So that's it reinstalled, or not reinstalled. That's the new braided steel one installed in place of the original. The caliper is back. Everything is back in place. I just need to bleed the air out of that line now and out of that caliper. Just one thing to note is, so this is the old original brake cable. If you look at the orientation, if you look at the shape at the top of that, there's a specific way that goes up here and locks into that section. I don't know if you can see it on the camera. There's a kind of a locking, like a locking fork that you push in that holds that in place. So if you look at the flat side of this, when you have that pulled down, you'll see what I'm talking about. We'll say your brake line runs along the inside, your copper brake line runs along the inside here. But when you when you originally pull out that pin, take that connection down, you'll see it on the base of that plate that this can only go in one way. So it's important to have the new one facing the correct direction when you tighten it, so that you can just shove it back up. So that's the only thing really to note on that. But apart from that, it's fairly straightforward. It's a job you can do yourself. Just takes a bit of time.